reality TV scenario had just evolved into a full-fledged crime scene. Kirk Frost and someone by the name of Mona Scott Young got into a heated argument. This is a real jail term drama, not a made-up reunion fight. How did the infidelity scandals and our turbulent relationship escalate into a full-fledged argument? According to witnesses, security failed to stop the furniture from flying and fists from being thrown. Therefore, Kirk and I are now facing serious legal issues. Is anyone sick of Kirk's constant rambling? You won't believe what actually happened among all of this craziness, even if Kirk Frost and I are already here. So sit down, hit like, and let's get started. What do you mean when you say that these two mature men, fathers, and so-called business people were recently arrested for a fight that looked like it would have happened in a Lady Rain movie? They have been involved in enough scandals to fill a whole season of Love and Hip-Hop, but this may be the strangest mess they have ever shared. Additionally, keep in mind the catalysts, which I believe were Young Jock and Yundi Kendra. Before delving into the specifics of this chaotic takedown, it's crucial to make clear that Mendeecees and Kirk have a history of drama, ranging from infidelity scandals to money frauds. This time, people are talking on the internet about more than simply rumors. Streets, even a police officer needs to intervene and explain what specifically happened that led to their handcuffing, mugshot, and maybe criminal charges because the internet is trembling. This is the best reality TV, I assure you, so you'll want to grab some popcorn. For several years, Frost has been proving that he is the epitome of. Kirk was in full reckless mode, drinking, laughing, and whispering sweet things into this mystery woman's ear as if he didn't have a whole marriage on the line. However, he was in the same club and, let's just say, was already feeling a certain way. Clearly, Mendeecees should have been more mature after all these years of humiliation. Rumors you may remember when it was later found that the paperwork was never filed, even though minds had led Yandy to believe they would, because he had been fighting with her all day about something that had happened on the Love and Hip-Hop set years prior. This is why Yandy was still feeling resentful of him. Mendeecees would normally not be involved in this, but keep in mind that he and Rashida are legally married, and she was determined to keep him from forgetting. He is already annoyed as he tries to enjoy his evening while sitting in VIP when he sees Kirk, and not just Kirk, but Kirk looking incredibly at ease with another woman across the room. These reality stars, like Coes, feed on devastation. To add gasoline to the fire, Mendeecees decided to confront Kirk directly there since he didn't want Yandy to learn that he had seen him snooping and had kept quiet. The same Miz who were witnesses then went to Kirk's section and yelled at. Kirk did what he always does, trying to laugh it off and hitting Mendeecees with the classic "come on, man," but Mendeecees couldn't take it any longer and began to raise his voice, saying things like, "Rashi doesn't deserve it." There was no warning, no buildup, just straight to the drama. Instead of saying, "Man, worry about your," Kirk claps back, "This Kirk is out here embarrassing his family once more." When all hell broke loose, he lunged at Kirk, drinks flew, and security attempted to intervene. But it was too late before anybody could blink. In some way, Young Jock was trying to split them up. But why? There is a mystery surrounding Jock's presence that we may never fully unravel, but one thing is certain, he did not defuse the situation. If you know Mendeecees, you know that was the wrong thing to say because, let's be honest, he doesn't want anyone to bring up his relationship issues again. The club was in full swing, with people yelling and tables being turned over. With security attempting to maintain order at a time when it appeared that things couldn't get any worse, when I tell you that the drama leaped, Kendra, who was meant to be at home taking care of herself, walked right into the center of the mayhem. Her face was priceless as she witnessed her husband and the woman Kirk had been seen fighting, and she snapped. From 10 to 100 in a flash. I'm not exaggerating when I say that Kendra lost it and began yelling and pointing fingers. Before security could even calm things down, the police arrived, and as a result, Mendeecees and Kirk Frost ended up handcuffed, looking like two idiots who couldn't restrain their egos or their arms. The nightclub was packed, with red and blue lights flashing, people running around frantically. phones recording every second, and the security team appearing worn out from trying and failing to keep things under control. Despite all of this chaos, the atmosphere changed from chaotic to downright terrifying. Kirk Frost remained heated and continued to talk trash, but now they were facing significant challenges. The Atlanta Police Department officers weren't fooling around when they got to the club. They immediately began making arrests when they noticed that people were yelling, tables were overturned, and beverages were spilled. You can guess who they targeted first. Let's face it, Mendeecees and Kirk. Kirk thought he could talk his way out of it, but just when it looked like Kirk and them were the only ones going down, things took an even more shocking turn. This man has been dealing with legal drama for years, served time on parole, and the last thing he needed was to be back in handcuffs. Since, keep in mind, Kendra, the police weren't buying it, especially since several people had already told them that Kirk and them started the fight, and young Jock, who had so far managed to avoid handcuffs, was still talking about the man in the corner. Oh baby, Kendra wasn't letting the night end without the fight. You basically stoked the flames by locking them up over a little club drama, so perhaps you should pass on this one. As the police handled Kirk and Kendra kept shouting about the situation, Yandy had been watching the entire event from a distance as if it were a movie premiere, but you know she wasn't going to let them go to jail without paying attention. Female, yes, you read correctly. Kendra, the sophisticated lawyer, lost all sense of professionalism and went straight into love and hip-hop mode when she tried to attack Kirk. Security had to intervene as she lunged at the woman, and after the police had finished creating a scene, Yandy hurried over and yelled, "Oh hell no, you guys aren't taking my husband over." This absurdity, the police weren't in the mood when they began putting cuffs on him, so one of them turned to her and said, "Ma'am, if you don't back up, you're coming too." Yandy quickly changed the subject, saying whatever she wanted about her, but she knows how to pick her battles, as you can imagine, and the internet went viral with those. Where was Rashida during all of this? According to insiders, she was at home going about her daily business when she received the phone call regarding Kirk's arrest. Oh baby, she snapped, "We're getting a divorce, sort of." Mug shots were made public, with memes going viral on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. Let's face it, according to one tweet, Kendra was out there fighting side chicks while her husband was sitting in jail, smiling as if it were a picture of a family reunion. Another said that someone told Kirk that Rashida wasn't helping him this time, and if Kirk hadn't learned by now, he would never return to the jail situation. Kendra, Kirk, and we were waiting in jail to learn the charges against them, which included long-term disorderly conduct, public intoxication, disturbing the peace, and resisting arrest. And Kendra, oh, she got it. Kirk believed he could improve things, but it turns out that this man was attempting to hit Rashida from jail using the same old justifications he had been using for 10 years. Further charged for attempted assault at this point, and let's just say that not everyone was feeling sympathetic. According to rumors, Yandy refused to post bail and send DC out immediately because, yes, you heard correctly, she was upset and wanted him to sit in there for a short while to reflect on what he had done. Kirk hoped Rashida would arrive. However, following that phone call, he had to begin reassessing his entire life, and Kendra, despite reports that the young jock was working behind the scenes to get her out, would be looking at divorce papers the following day if she had to spend even one night in jail. In the midst of all of this, the internet continued to take up all of his time. Occasion where supporters compare mug pictures side by side. One of the more dubious comments was made by 50 Cent, who claimed on Instagram that he loved hip-hop and that he had more arrests than the Super Bowl. He wasn't lying. But the court wasn't about to listen to reality stars share their thoughts or even join in on the discussion. The judge sat back with their arms crossed and shook their head, saying, "Oh, so this is what we're dealing with." The video captured everything, including Kirk throwing hands and Kendra appearing exhausted and attempting to fight. Please pardon them, as this wasn't just some small drama. It was a public incident at a yacht club with witnesses and video footage. If that wasn't enough, the audio captured every word I said, and security, and the police intervened as if to break up a WrestleMania match. You don't want these issues. You got me, bro. Hup scream. Be mindful of yourself, twisted man. I know you didn't treat me so disrespectfully. Kendra shouted, this isn't just a little fracas in the bar, let me be clear. Kirk and my beloved Kendra just sat there like kids caught stealing candy. You three adults believed it was appropriate to host a WWE SmackDown event in a posh nightclub. After the defense in silence, the judge began to dissolve it, to which Kendra responded, Mr. Harris. The judge interrupted him, but it was exactly like that because I just watched the judge, Mr. Frost, be ready when Kirk's case came up. You all people should know better. You had legal issues in the past, you've been on the straight and narrow, and now you're back in my courtroom for what petty nightclub fight? The answer, Your Honor? This came into play given that you are a middle-aged man acting like a crazy teenager in CLCLS, and that your reckless behavior, inability to maintain faithfulness, and total lack of self-control were the initial causes of this whole scenario. I almost feel sorry for you. Kirk sat there silently, as though he wanted to. Disappearing, Kendra was the last one, and since an attorney should be the more composed one, the judge was truly shocked when she approached her. You are a court official, Mrs. Robinson, and you should obey the law, not break it. I saw your public attempt to assault a woman. Do you realize how ridiculous and unprofessional that looks? Following a gasp from the courtroom, the judge turned to Mr. Harris and declared, based on the evidence presented, I'm ruling as follows. You will be fined $10,000, Mr. Frost, and you will have to go to obligatory infidelity and anger management counseling. You did indeed hear me mention infidelity counseling. At this point, Kendra was holding back tears due to your previous criminal history. The past. I'm going to put you in county jail for 30 days because you might find that it helps you think about your decisions and take a break from the nightlife. Finally, Mrs. Robinson Kendra, a legal professional, you will be placed on professional probation for $55,000 and need to complete a course because of your utterly terrible behavior tonight. Program for public malfeasance rehabilitation, he muttered to himself. This is some bull. And then Hyundai shoved him, saying, boy, shut up before they give you more time. It was gone in a flash. Kirk looked worn out, and his sole concern was how to explain this to Rashid and Kendra, who was only 2 seconds away from losing it. The most famous example was when someone put Kirk's mug photos on a picture of Rashida leaving with the caption, boy by many says made a mistake. Speaking of Rashida, she was already making moves while Kirk was seated in. Meanwhile, Yandy was out here fixing the damage and making comments like we're handling everything privately as a family. And we're working on it right now. Then there was Jock, who talked about males on Instagram live all night. According to reports, he was the one energizing them about Kendra's legal career when I attempted to warn them, sir. In a statement, the firm essentially stated that it does not support lawyers who engage in unprofessional conduct. Yes, her fans were enamored with her despite her precarious situation. A heartbreaking yet humorous response was made by one commenter. Imagine earning your law degree only to find yourself on the do not hire list because you wanted to fight over Kirk Frost. 50 Cent, yes. 50 posted another image with the description, Love and Hip Hop Locked Up Edition, with mug shots of Kirk and N. To be honest, you might not be mistaken, but what will happen next? Coming soon on VH1, I'm counting down the days until Kirk's freedom while he tries to maintain his marriage. With Rashida out and the fans glued to the screen, Kendra is hoping her legal profession endures. Do you think Kirk and Rashida's relationship will end? Let's discuss it in the comments section. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification button. Kendra lost her job. Will Mendeecees actually spend 30 days in jail for a club fight? Although this may be the most outrageous rest scandal to date, you know there will be more since this hip-hop never lets you down when it comes to trash. Farther away from it in the meantime, please hit the bell and like this video. The situation quickly went from a messy club fight to a full-blown legal disaster, but the real question is who is really to blame? Was Kirk just being Kirk and finally getting what he deserves? Or should M have just walked away instead of throwing hands? I have more exclusives heading your way, so please subscribe to the channel. We're going to see breakups, lawsuits, and maybe even an emergency cast meeting on VH1. Do you think I deserve the 30-day sentence, or did the judge go too far? Please share your thoughts. Ideas in the space provided for comments below.